Welcome into our countdown to First Serve interview series. Today I'm visiting with head coach Phil McDaniel of Henderson State University. Coach, this makes year 6 for you?
Year 5.
We're not
Year
that
5.
far along yet.
Almost.
This has been
Almost.
2 seasons in 1 year. So
Yeah,
year
exactly.
5 for Coach McDaniel. And that's where we want to start. We just talked to you a few months ago, but it's such a quick turnaround now for everybody. 4 months between that last match and starting your off-season workouts. But we're okay with that. Nobody's complaining that we're getting to play. But tell us what it's been like in the off-season to get to where we are today.
It's gone fast. We like you said, we feel like we just left, and so now we're back, and I feel like I'm hoping this short break was good for the returners. Hopefully they didn't lose too much over the summer. Since they haven't been in the gym for a few months, and of course we just had camp, and then now the freshmen are here, and so I think we're ready to go. We look like we're in good shape, and so far so good as we just finished up our first week of practice.
Coach, in a normal year, what would be the routine for a player? You end the season in November. How much time off do they have before you get back at it?
Well, they basically get the rest of the semester off. So if we end in mid-November, they get another 2 or 3 weeks before finals. Then they go home for the winter break and come back. And so we give them a workout packet to do over the winter break. But of course, that is player by player who really is committed and partakes in that program. Then they come back usually mid-January, January 10th-ish, and then we give them typically that first week of the spring semester to get kind of settled in, and then we'd be going again, by January 20th, typically. So,
and then of course this year you were actually playing games in January, but
yeah.
As I've talked to other coaches about, we felt like hopefully everything will be back to normal. We still have COVID kind of chasing behind us. There's still a lot that we're trying to stay out in front of. Have you noticed anything different this year? Does it feel the same as last year? Is it better? What are you thinking? What's your team thinking?
I think all the testing, all the masks, everything from last year has helped us prepare a little bit more for this year, since it looks like we're kind of going down a somewhat parallel path, possibly with maybe a few less restrictions. But, of course, we are still obviously doing some testing with some folks. We are about to travel, which will be a little bit unique for some of our players, because most of our players only got one overnight trip last year, and that was our time in Dallas. And so a lot of our players, of course, haven't seen anybody in Oklahoma. So this is all going to be a little bit new to them. And, of course, now we also have our pre-conference tournaments that we didn't do last year. So some similar, some new. And, of course, down south, I know the numbers haven't been going the way that we want them to go. And so, of course, we're still making sure that we're taking every precaution to keep everybody, as healthy as we can, and to keep them on the court as long as we can.
Okay, so returning players, you've got the newcomer of the year coming back. You've got the defensive player of the year. I imagine that would be a good starting point for our conversation. Tell me about those two and what you expect.
Absolutely. We got Violetta coming back, and she had some good experiences back home in Mexico while she was home. I got to play with some kind of elite travel teams a little bit, and so she got a lot of good touches over the summer, which has been good for her. Matt got a chance to rest up a few bruises that she kind of acquired through the year, hitting the ground as much as she does. Having those two back, pass and serve receive, playing good defense for us, certainly a great start for us as both those two come back healthy and strong. And we got a few more returners that are going to contribute as well, between Maya Robinson, the senior, on the outside for us, and then Caitlin Sykes coming back, as a middle for us, and then Taylor Scalzi kind of returns as a senior / junior, depending on what you look at with the COVID year, kind of helping run the show for us as a setter. And so we're excited to get them all back, and of course they bring back just a lot of experience that will help our younger players.
Yeah, as I've told other coaches, I don't know who's a junior, senior anymore. We're just going to have to go year 1, year 2, year 3.
We're just going returners versus new people. That's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to call them all.
Well, let's move to that a little bit. Let's talk about new players. And
Sure.
So, as I mentioned to other coaches, the high school seasons were taking place in the fall, so you weren't playing. I don't know how that allowed you to maybe recruit a little bit better, spend more time recruiting. What was that like? Who'd you bring in? What did you need?
It definitely was a little different. we kind of took advantage of that, and we're able to go watch a little more high school, especially a little further away. We're always kind of able to watch the ones that were within an hour, hour and a half drive on a regular basis, but we got to spread out a little bit more and go a little further away, go to get into Texas a little bit. And so we brought in, two good sized freshmen. We had lost some size over the past couple of years with some people that graduated. So we brought in two, Lexi Turner and Larkin Luke, are both 6'2" ish players, and so that they're going to do well for us. I think whether that's right away or down the road, I think there's certainly a good future for those two. And we brought in a transfer as well, and Danny Degley, who will help us out in the back row a little bit, just give us a little more competition back there. And so we're excited about that. Plus all the freshmen, quote unquote freshmen that got a little bit of playing time last year are going to get some more quality minutes this year. And I think that shortened season was actually going to be really beneficial for them as they continue to develop.
So, what's the mindset of the team? I know everybody's excited. Just how excited is everybody at this point?
They're pretty fired up, I mean, they came in raring to go, came in focused and hungry, and so they're excited to play that full season, excited to go to Oklahoma to get to play teams that they haven't seen or they've only heard about, and excited to go to these pre-conference tournaments. Some of them a little closer to home for some. So I think overall they're just excited to have fans back in right away and to get to play a full fall season. And it'll be new for a lot of us because they haven't gotten to do that yet, but I think they're ready to go.
You said you're a week into your practices so far. So how is everybody meshing together, the new players and the returners? And then, as I've asked other coaches, if you did just play 4 months ago, did everybody who may have been a little banged up get enough time to rest up?
Absolutely. We were pretty fortunate to get through last season pretty healthy. The ones that did have some minor things were pretty minor, and they were able to rest those up. We had one that was major, that was coming off surgery. They didn't play at all last year, but she looks like she's on her way back to being mended and ready to go by the time we open up the season. The thing that I'm really enjoying right now about our practices is our younger returners, the ones that were just here for just a little bit last year, are really helping out the new players that are on our roster. So they're giving them tips. They're helping them work through some of the stuff that maybe they just worked through just last semester. And so it's pretty fresh in their mind of the reminders they got last spring as far as things we needed to change and adjust and improve upon. And they're using a lot of that same language with these younger players as they're jumping in for that first time while we're preparing for that first match.
What else, Coach? What else do we need to talk about?
I think for us, we're just excited to be able to play.
Yeah.
I know that where there were some conferences didn't get to last year, and obviously we were a little limited, but we got to. So I think for us, it's just getting out there and putting the ball out there and seeing what we can do and seeing what kind of things we need to improve on before we get to that conference tournament. And of course, that's our goal, to get back in Hot Springs and be playing at a high level. And I know pre-conference stuff just came out a little while ago, and so I think everybody uses that to their best motivational tool, whatever it is. If you're where you want to be, you gotta use it, and you gotta try and hold on to that spot. If you're not where you want to be, then you use it that way, and you try and encourage them to improve on that number. So I think for us, we're just excited to play, and I think that first little bit of adrenaline when we get that first serve and those nerves of that first serve of the first match are going to come out there a little bit. But I think by the time we get to conference, everybody, I'm sure, will be just fine and focused and poised to go.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm the same way. I'm excited to just get back to some normalcy. Interview you in August and not January, I think.
Well, and having all the sports trying to go at the same time, I mean, certainly worked for a short time, but I don't know if that's sustainable year after year. I think that puts a lot of stress on a lot of staffs. And so hopefully we're ready to go and we can spread things out and people can enjoy sports throughout all the seasons.
For sure. Yep. Well, Coach McDaniel, thank you for the time. Good luck to Henderson this year.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the road.